Hello everyone and welcome back to this step-by-step tutorial on Microsoft Access. We're now going to look at creating a report from our data, mainly focusing on the query that we've just made, which was students living in the Ringwood area, obviously with their date of birth. So what we want to do is we just want to close our current tables, queries and forms down. We'll just make sure that we've saved our current table so the information is currently up to date, so that we just have a blank slate. Now, down here is obviously a navigational bar. We just want to make sure that we have just one-clicked the city query so that we have that selected, and then go over to create. And then we're going to click on the report button. And that pulls out the report in a more professional manner. So we can see here that exactly what the query data look like just on a piece of paper, which you can then change the view. So again, we have the three options. You have the button here, the right click button on the tab, or down the bottom. So if we do the right click on the tab, we can look at potentially viewing this in a report view, which looks a bit like this. We can then change it so it looks on a more print preview. So if you were looking at printing this information so that you could hand to potentially someone in admin or your lecturer or maybe your boss, you could do that this way. Or you could look at the design view. So if you wanted to edit the look and the sort of feel of the form. So what we can do is we could potentially make this box a little bit bigger, as I did notice that the number 2 was like slightly off the page. So we can make sure that, all the information is visible. And then we can also edit this chosen report. So obviously at the moment, it's just called city query. We could call this Ringwood students. And then enter. And that just changed the name of what this chosen report is about. I recommend keeping the date and time because it shows that when you generated this report, you can see that there's a date stamp and a time stamp on it. Once you've done that, you can then go back and change it back into layout view. So that's what it will look like. Have you noticed that obviously both the records are listed? It also gives us a count, so that shows how many students that we have that live in the Ringwood area. And obviously it gives you the amount of pages. This can be very handy, especially if you've got a big database to show a record of the amount of pages that report requires. Brilliant. And what you want to do is you want to go and now save that report so it appears in your navigational bar. And I give it an appropriate name. So what I would do is I would call that maybe Ringwood Students, just like the way that you've obviously named the report at the above the page there. And again, that then appears in your navigational bar to the left hand side.